Helsinki-based mobile developer, Next Games plans to lay off 26 developers during the first half of 2019, a decision made in an effort to both cut costs and reduce time to market for its upcoming projects. The restructure comes at the end of a cost consultation that kicked off late last month, and ultimately sees Next Games staff of 143 reduced to 170 people. The move completely eliminates some unnamed positions, though a press release from the company notes that it hopes to, however, get talent for certain specific positions during the first half of the year as well. Ultimately, Next Games estimates that the move and the shift to its operational model will save it between 4 million and 8 million euros, roughly $5 million to $9 million, during the 2019 financial year. By ending the consultation proceedings with our personnel, we are moving to the implementation phase of our new operational model, said Next Games CEO Tim Hutton in a press release. The company is extremely grateful to have a very committed and highly skilled staff. We will together continue our transformation into an even more agile and resilient team and execute on our mission to create long-lasting mobile entertainment. Though not directly linked to the restructuring effort, the company announced separately that Amy Kuzuko is stepping down from her role as Chief Product Officer at Next Games to pursue challenges outside the company. DG Capital attract startups, raising over $6 billion across hardware and computer vision in 2018, driven by large, late-stage deals in China. A decline in deal volumes, number of deals, during the first 3 quarters of the year stabilized in Q4, while deal value, dollars invested, returned to a 2-year average after large spikes from a few mega deals. Again in China, the next 6 months will determine whether or not this return to stability is a long-term trend. Via reinvestment volume, number of deals by stage. Note: see selected data in paragraph below. Free charts do not include numbers, access and data from subscriber version, with underlying data sourced directly from companies and reliable secondary sources. There has been a gradual decline in overall via deal volumes in the last 2 years, with the most recent high well over 100 deals in Q4 2017. The stages which have seen the most variance are pre-seed and seed deals. Q4 2018 saw an uptick to approach 80 deals, although again pre-seed was somewhat limited, while accelerator deals, particularly HT's EVMX cohorts, skew deal volume data. Even without them, the overall stabilization in the 4th quarter holds true, although to a lesser extent. As expected, there are always far fewer later-stage Series B through Series F deals. We will come back to this when we look at deal value, via reinvestment volume, number of deals by category in 2018. Note: heat map shows relative scale of deal volumes by category in 2018. The largest number of VR deals by category in 2018 were in car tech, games, photo-video, solution services, enterprise and smart glasses. However, there was a broad range of deals across 21 other VR categories last year. Again, the next 6 months will determine which categories we see and corporate investors focus their attention on going forward. However, the general market narrative last year guided investors towards the crossover between computer vision and VR. There were also some VR investments, such as Vartel, raising $31 million and Pico Interactive $24.7 million, despite media coverage to the contrary. Avia reinvestment value, dollars by stage. Note: see selected data in paragraph below. Avia deal value, dollars invested, has been lumpy over the last 2 years, with a few massive later stage Series B through Series F deals dominating VC and corporate investment into earlier startups, particularly in the breakout quarters of Q4 2017, Q2 2018 and Q3 2018, some of which were over $2 billion total per quarter and all of which are outliers. This is not unusual, as later stage deals are typically much larger. The scale of deals in the Chinese market has been particularly impressive over the last 12 months. There were individual Series C deals over $600 million and one Series D in the $1 billion range. Although over $1 billion was invested globally across all stages in Q4 2018, the bulk of that was again in later stage Series C deals. Removing those outliers to focus on accelerator through Series B, the market stabilized somewhat to over $300 million invested. Avia reinvestment value, dollars by category in 2018. Note: heat map shows relative scale of deal value by category in 2018. By far the largest investment category by value, dollars invested, was card tech, particularly Chinese companies crossing over between computer vision and AR, so not a pure place. Even removing these crossover investments from the numbers, there was still significant investment with Chinese companies in advertising, lifestyle and smart glasses categories, completing $100 million plus deals. In the West, smart glasses company Magic Leap did the biggest deal with its $561 million round. Mobile games company Niantic also raised a large Series C, some of which was revealed in December and which was finally announced as having topped out at $235 million with a nearly $5 billion valuation. In January, the January portion is not included in the 2018 numbers. There were other deals ranging from hundreds of thousands to tens of millions of dollars across over 20 RVL categories last year. What next in 2019? The first 3 quarters of 2018 saw massive growth of investment in China, together with significant decline in the United States. Q4 2018 returned to more normal historic levels of deal flow and dollars invested globally, including in the United States. But the first 2 quarters of the year could set the tone for earlier investment to come. Watch this space. Full details on all transactions in DG Capital's Note 313 Augmented Virtual Reality Report Q1 2019 on RVL Analytics Platform. Video Game Deep KC's weekly newsletter from video game industry. Watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra Code Runner. Rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include another gigantic chunk of end-of-year charts, discourses, thoughts and ruminations. And while we are at it, I'm not really big on editorializing in this newsletter, but just wanted to say, please take some time for you and your loved ones at year's end. Before 2019 gets incredibly busy clouds your vision. Until next time, Simon, Curator, MOLADINDUST Arias Highlights from 2018. Paulo Patercini MOLADINDUST Arias article. These indeed apocalyptic times are giving a sad embarrassment of releases, but the most popular development strategy seems to be work within established genres. put a lot of effort into visual polish, probably a result of increasing visual social media, and often just make games punishingly hard, which I guess use partly others in face of limited resources. Simon, as note, continuing his provocateur shenanigans. But Pablo's yearly picks are nonetheless reliably some of the most interesting. Athletes do not own their tattoos. That's a problem for video game developers. Jason M. Bailey, New York Times article. When LeBron James bounds down a basketball court, he is both a transcendent athlete and a prominent palette for dozens of tattoos.